Hello, this is Greg Deckler, and welcome to MSHGQM. Okay, so I had a lot of fun in a couple videos ago around kind of rating like all of the different ideas that are out there in the Power BI ideas forum that have more votes than fixing measure totals in Power BI. So I don't know why I had a lot of fun doing that, but I did. It's kind of a little bit different content than I usually create here. So I figured I'd do it again. And this time I figured I'd do it for all of the planned features. So you can actually see all the planned features. It's not really super intuitive, but if you search for the word idea, um, and it gives, brings it back a search page, and then you can actually filter it to like what the status is. So and that's on the search page for Power BI ideas. So that's how you can see all of the planned ideas because all the planned ideas have the word idea in them, as you can see. And I've also tested this. If I put power in here or just the letter E, it always comes back with 104 different results. All right, so I figured, I mix it up a little bit. I just, I guess not live technically because this is recorded, but this is real time. You're going to see me fill in the spreadsheet this time, just, as I'm doing it. So what I did to prepare for this, all I did was just go through the search results, copy the title, paste it in, jot down the number of votes that it has, um, and that's it. So we've also simplified our scoring mechanism. So before, I mentioned that anything can be done with a 1 to 10 scale can be done with a 1 to 5 scale. Well, anything that can be done with a 1 to 5 metrics can probably be done with two 1 to 5 metrics. So I've created, so basically what I've done, this is the ease of implementation. Like how quickly or how fast could Microsoft get this feature out the door. And then the other four metrics I've consolidated into this likey score. So basically, does it make things easier to use? Does it reduce complexity? Is it something that's new? That's new, right? In terms of it, not something you can technically do today. And then the impact it would have on the Power BI community of users. And then this is the score. So I titled this as, I don't know, I'm not quite sure why I feel compelled to explain this, but I titled the score instead of total because I'm actually multiplying the two metrics together instead of adding them. And a total is, since it's the by definition is the product of addition or sum. I felt it would be confusing to label that total. Not sure why I have feel compelled to explain that, but there you go. All right. All right, so we have our search results. All right. So now we have the first one's dynamic date slicer. So improve the relative date slicer. Okay, so the date slicer is pretty good as it is. Could it be improved? Sure. I think that would have somewhat of an impact. I'm going to give that a 3. And I'm just going to give it a 3 too, because I don't know how difficult that would be to implement as far as, but so I'm just going to give it middle of the road, right? And again, I'm thinking 1 to 5 scale, right? Right down the middle, is the 3, the large, think of a bell curve, right? So you all get that. You guys all know. Automatically generate a legend for color saturation. Automatically generate a legend for color saturation. It literally has nothing else in it. So the plan for August 23rd. Legend for size of bubbles okay. I'm not sure what to make of this feature. So we're just going to give it a 3. We're going to say it's 3 and be done with it and move on. Deployment pipelines. Show message before deployment. I think this might be already implemented. Maybe not. Um, but okay, I think it would impact people using pipelines, and it should be really pretty simple to do. Okay, create calculated columns. Oh yeah, and I've given my matrix table grand totals. I've given it. We really like this feature. They could have a big impact on everybody. I think it should be easy to implement because it should be a 1 month kind of solution. Most of the code's already there. Create calculated columns using an SSAS live connection. Okay. So I think it would impact people using SSAS live connections. Um, and yeah, that would be a difficult thing to implement, I think. But here's the thing about this feature is that it's kind of already there with direct measures. So I'm gonna color that one green. and say that's pretty much delivered with direct query for Power BI and SSAS, right? You can do that now. So we're going to move on, but had a lot of votes. Hierarchy expression. Hierarchy expression. What does that mean? But submit IDX, not enough objects related to hierarchy. Show form. I'm not really understanding what they're meaning by that. That's kind of a vague feature. We'll just go with 3 and 3. Okay, visibility hide item. I think we covered that in the last video. I mean, there's ways to do that now. So it's not that important. Support Kerberos authentication for Hive, LLEP, and Spark. Well, that would benefit the 36 people that voted for this issue. We're going to give that a 3 and a 3. Publish custom connector to Power BI service. I've seen this come up, and I think there might be some duplicates on this one, but we'll have to see as we go through. Publish, so it's like, so you don't want to use the custom connector on your enterprise data gateway. You want to kind of load it up to the service. I'm not sure that would really benefit a ton of people, because again, there's a workaround for it. Enterprise gateway. Really, and it's really only the subset of people that are using custom connectors with it. So I don't know how difficult that will be implement. So we'll give it a 3. Copy visual as an image. Copy visual as an image embedded. We're just going to go with the defaults. HP Vertica support. HP Vertica support. Okay, one easy. What is this, like an advertisement for HP Vertica? I don't know what that is. Does Gateway support Vertica? I don't think it does, even though it says we plan to release HP Vertica before the end of CY17 back in 2020. Well, I don't remember seeing that in that has been released. I don't think that would benefit too many people, and we'll just give it a 3 for moderate. Implementation. Okay, data flow, copy paste queries from PBI desktop Excel. Can't you already do that, right? The data flow has an advanced editor. Is that what that's talking about? It's more for, okay. I am fairly certain that we're going to color that one green again, because that seems like that's been delivered. I can go in and advanced editor, copy the code, go into data flow, bring up the advanced editor, and paste the code. I'm not sure why that's still marked as planned. Now let's think about this from a scoring perspective, as if it's not. Would that benefit? How many people would that benefit? Let's see. That people using data flows. Is it functionality that's not really there? We're just going to go with the defaults of 3 and move on. Ability to remove data sources. Ability to remove data sources from an SSAS cube that has been moved to a different server, but I don't see a way to do this. Guess we need the ability to connect to multiple Salesforce orgs. Remove a data connect. Just like in the desktop? Like, because it caches your connection or something? I don't know. That's interesting. I wish people would be a little more clear when they post these ideas. Give it the 3s. REST API to know the access list of report dashboard when we pass the report ID or dashboard as an. I feel like this is done. That is a feature. So we'll just mark it that way. But let's see, REST API. I mean, that's not going to benefit a ton of people, or really add a tremendous amount of functionality. And we'll do a 3 because API should be fairly easy. Analyze in standard pivot table aggregations. Wait, is this another one for measure totals? I'm always looking for ideas to merge in with the measure total idea. Analyze in Excel, I recommend adding the ability to utilize Excel standard pivot table functionality of adding implicit measures for numeric fields from source data. The function will be similar to the process for creating pivot tables with Power Pivot. The custom measures can be used with the same pivot table. Oh, okay, it's a feature, I guess. It's the 3s. Gateway usage monitoring tools for Power BI service. Sure, that probably should be in there. Do we like that? I mean, there. more information about this. Capacity to gateway, volume of traffic. I mean, they do log a lot of information, whether it's easy to get that, but we'll give that one, we get a lot of threes, so we'll give that one a four. We like that feature more than some of the other ones, but anything for admins out, it wouldn't impact a huge amount of people, but we like that feature. Download report builder template from Power BI service. Okay, but I mean, it's just is like eliminating a step, right? And instead of downloading the PBX, saving as a PBIT, so I mean, really, come on. And this is planned. This is planned. Planned 2002 release wave 2. Look at that. Oh, I'd have to go back to that Verta, whatever the heck that HP thing was. So I mean, really? Come on, people. That's not going to help anybody. You can do that today. Ease, I bet this is pretty easy to do. That's why they're adding it. Improve the ideas oh, Mike Carlo, shame on you. Okay, you're getting a 1, Mike. Sorry, man. That doesn't help anybody. And we'll give it a 3 for ease for Power BI. Mike, you're right. All right, history for pipeline usage. History for pipeline usage. It gets the 3s. I mean, that's not going to benefit a tremendous amount of people. Vertical and horizontal multiples. See, this seems like this is done. Like we have small multiples. We've got them. I mean, maybe not the trellis, but part of it. But we'll get the 3s. Connect data in Data Mart from Power BI desktop. Yep, that's release wave 2. Okay, so it's going to only impact people using data marts. It is new functionality. It makes a lot of sense now that they've introduced data marts, that they would add this. And, I think people may be jumping the gun, adding in some of these ideas. Like data marts is really pretty new. So obviously there's going to be, improvements around it. So we'll give it a 4. And data mart connector should be pretty easy to do because Microsoft owns it. So there we go. That makes a lot of sense, right? Should have that functionality. Ribbon toolbar control for change font sizes. It's just a different place to go to do the same thing. Data mart administration to be available by a team. Again, I think this is similar to data marts. That makes some sense, right? It's going to help people using data marts. Data mart, another one. Allow saving of data mart query without loading data. Okay, sure. We'll keep up with the 4s here with the data mart stuff. Table total visibility. I think this is about that the table should show regardless if it's at the end, like it should always be there on the screen. Is that what this is? Oh, come on, HDInsight, let's go. This is a video, man. We don't want to like 6-hour video here. And maybe I need to move my Carlos 1 to a 2, In grid total period at the end is very irritating by the report. Should we scroll? Yeah, that's exactly what this is saying. Sure, I mean that would benefit some people and shouldn't be too difficult to implement. Download report from Power BI service. Download report from Power BI service. You can do that. Is this something different? You already have that. Need to replace the report which is developed in Power BI service or modify. Need to replace the report which is developed in Power BI service or modified in Power BI service. Oh, okay, yeah. So this is one that's, I feel like this actually is there already. Maybe I'm wrong on that one. Let's see. So I like that feature, right? I mean, if it's not implemented, and it should be easy to implement. So I think that might be already there. Download data from Power BI service. You kind of do that, right? Download the data used in a report from Power BI service. Yeah, that's why is this still planned? You can download the PBX, man. You can do that today. Or maybe this is. It didn't say anything about like one that's developed in the Power BI service. So I mean, it seems like that one should maybe be merged, but it seems like it's already there to me. Maybe I'll mark this one as not No fill. No fill. And I mean, okay, but yeah, I mean, if that wasn't a feature already, that's a good feature. It seems like it's there. Interactive Geo Maps on the dashboard. Now, are they using the term dashboard correctly? That's the first question. Good to be interactive like on reports. Good job. Good job, Robert Erickson. You know the difference between a report and a dashboard. Drill into a country to see the breakdown by state, and et cetera, et cetera. Yeah, I mean, it would impact the people that are. You can pin a live page to a report or to a dashboard, so you can accomplish this behavior. So we're gonna give that a 2. Ease. I'm gonna get it right up the middle. Create a view scenario where you can impersonate a viewer of a dashboard report, so we can see exactly what the consumer sees. Seems like you can do that in the desktop, right? I can put in an email address of a specific user or something like that. I don't have strong feelings about this one either way, so we'll go about that one. Usage data for BI sites, QA, and mobile application. I guess the thing that wouldn't be what's missing right now is maybe the mobile application. Although, if you view something from a mobile application, it still should count in the audit logs. I mean, give that a 2 and a 3. Ability to share a report without sharing a dashboard. All right, that's fine. Won't dig into that. Won't dig into that one. All right. Updatable PBX, SLX, XLSX datasets. A way to update datasets so reports can add new calculated fields. If that was fixed, I think this has been fixed, right? I mean, this is direct query for Power BI datasets, right? Or update datasets so reports we can add new calculated fields. Yeah, yeah, that seems like that's a done thing. It's marketed as such, but I mean, that's definitely a huge feature, but very difficult to implement, right? Um, but now it's done. So okay, being able to open reports. Going back to that, that's a 5, right? I mean, that's such a huge feature when they added direct query for Power BI datasets. Let's just be honest with ourselves, Greg. Come on. All right, being able to open reports in BI Designer. I think you should be able to open reports in BI Designer. Well, it must be an old one. Um, Once they've been imported or even in Excel. Right now it's static and can lead to discrepancies between the original report and the one imported on the dashboard. I must be missing something on this one. Oh, So let me think through this. So what they're saying here is instead of downloading the PBX file, that I have an open in PBI in Power BI desktop, and then it would be like kind of like a live connection to it, and I could edit it. Yeah, that's kind of cool. I don't know if everybody would use that. Um, that's a pretty cool feature. And I'd give it a middle of the road to implement. Expose sharing information, reports and dashboards in PowerShell and REST API. It's in the audit log. It really would only benefit admins. It's in the REST API, and it may already be there. But if I was just gonna rate this as a thing, right? I'd probably give it that. Download PBI from report view in web. Again, I want to be able to export PBI file from the web view so I can open and edit in desktop app. Seems like that's done. Everything's seems like you have that, man. Am I missing something on this one? But yeah, I mean, if that wasn't a feature, you probably give that a 4 in a 4, right? If it wasn't a feature, but it seems like it is. That would be what in the world, people merge these things. Come on. Report in Power BI desktop using live connection. I want to share my report. Here's when I'm sharing your report. Option to download the PBX is grayed out. Okay, because it's a live connection. Okay, maybe. All right, fine, whatever. I mean, give it the 4s. Sure. seems like it's a thing, but I do know there are some instances where that gets gets great at. Zoom in report view, Power BI desktop, that exists, people. That's a thing. Now, if I was to rate this without it being a thing, I'd probably give it a 3 and 3. Change the resolution on your monitor, man. All right, please provide support for using SSO with AWS Redshift data source. Wow, that is oddly specific. C chef browser subprocess.exe CPU usage. You know, just sitting there doing nothing and following 8% is 8. Oh my god, he's missing 8% of his CPU. My particular dashboard at the moment is connected to this. And I suck, something happened in the least fix. Migrating off of C#. That's correct. It's already that's a done thing. That exists. That is WebView 2. But even if it wasn't, like, okay, I'm sorry about your 8%. And I think migrating from C# to WebView is probably a fairly difficult thing. Maybe not. Percentage format support in table and line chart. Percentage format support in table and line chart. Pretty sure you can do that in a table. We changed double format to percent style. Double format. Percent style in table such as. That seems like a thing. Like, I just changed, I hit the percent button and it becomes a percent. Maybe not? I'm just going to give that a middle of the road. Hey, yeah, I don't know about that one. I might be misunderstanding. And hey, in any of this, right? In any of this, if you feel like I'm impugning your idea, man, that's not my intention. Post a comment, educate me about what the heck you're talking about. Again, a lot of these these ideas are kind of vague. All right, we're coming up on the midway point here. Edit or add queries from the web. Edit or add queries from, isn't that a data flow? That's going to be included with the ability, but I would like the ability to edit an existing query. Okay, so like in the web, I know they're adding features and all of that. Again, I mean, okay, it's nice that you can do it from the web. Is that necessary? Necessary. We're just going to give it the 3s. Updated Power View editor in Excel. Updated Power View editor in Excel. For consideration, it's important to Power View. Okay, that's useful for people using Power View. Discretization. Okay, what is this? I should be able to bucket any of the measures dynamically. And but how are you going to do that with a measure? To bin numeric fields, right-click the field, the numeric field that they're talking about measures, but we might continue to work to support measures if there's more support for it. But it's planned. How would you do that with a measure exactly? Because a measure doesn't have a value until it's put into something. So a measure on its own, is just that measure calculated in the context of all. So what is that? So you have one bucket. I don't know. I'm not sure I get this one. Or how you would exactly implement that. Would that benefit a lot of? Did I miss? How you edit or add queries from the web? I must have missed reading one of these. Edit or add queries from the web. Okay, that is. I did. I missed Bing Newsfeed. How did I miss Bing Newsfeed? Did it move? Bing Newsfeed. I missed it. All right, Bing Newsfeed. These. Put these down here. Discretization. I don't know about that. I think it'd be difficult. Bing Newsfeed. Alrighty, Bing Newsfeed. Bing Newsfeed. Add. Can I add a Bing Newsfeed? 2014. This is in our plan. It's in our plan. I don't think it's there yet. But it really would. How many people? Why? And I think you could probably get it through the web, maybe. Well, anyway, giving it a 2. Okay. Need Power BI to support .gov email addresses. I think this Power BI. What are they talking about? If I see an account that ends in .gov, sure would be nice to be able to evaluate this site, but I currently cannot. Okay, that's been fixed because now you can just register with anything, right? So, would that make sense? That's just, it's not really the product. It's really just this website. I feel like that would be just that. Make the connection to Azure ML more evident. Use a sample projects to encourage. Okay, well, I mean, it's there, people. All right, HDInsight. HDInsight. Is that just being able to connect to HDInsight? Yeah, that's a thing. So why isn't this completed? We're planning to support refreshing from there in the service. That, HDInsight. That's the entire idea. That's from 2015. So this again seems like it's a thing. And if it wasn't there already, which it is, uh, let's give it the threes. Sunburst chart, same as Excel 2016. Please add the sunburst charting function, the same as been rolled out 2016. Not render metrics. Sunburst version. I don't know, man. There's a pretty sure there's a third party or even a Microsoft visual out there in the gallery for this. All right. Locales. Locales. Another one-word idea. Please add other locales, the Russian to be exact. Can't use your beautiful app. Working on being powered out of locales and languages. It seems like this is a thing. But if it wasn't right, I mean, that's, definitely would be high on the list. Seems like it would be rather easy to implement. But I think it might be there. Allow me to link Excel spreadsheets in Teams sites. Why does this have anything to do with Power BI? Okay. Bing Maps on mobile dashboards. Didn't know that. Couldn't do that. Is it really planned? It's not really planned. It was planned a while ago, so it may already be done. But if I don't think the mobile is a really high usage thing. And maps specifically on mobile would probably be pretty small. Let's give it the threes and move on. Yeah, we're halfway through. Not sure how long this thing's running, but DevOps process. I think it's called pipelines. Maybe I'm missing something. Yeah, it seems like this is a done thing. This should show completed, maybe. But sure. Alrighty. Support for SAP HANA hierarchies. That is oddly specific. Dashboard sharing telemetry and administrative capability. For example, email all users. Dashboard sharing telemetry and administrative. So this is more email all users. Allow owners to view telemetry of their users. You'll notify users of dashboard. This will enable enterprise-wide adoption. It seems like this is really a lot of this is already there. You have subscriptions. But if I generally, and you have telemetry, you have usage data. We're just going to go with the threes here and move on. Power Apps visual, add parameter support for moving environments, CID, CI/CD. Yeah, there is a Power Apps visual, so they're asking for some added functionality to it. I don't think a lot of people would use that, but sure. QA in Espanol, that exists. I mean, it's in preview, but it is a thing. I would rate that pretty highly, and something that Microsoft could do fairly easily. You know what? Got a 5. Input fields that go. Oh, wait, I missed one. Add deployment parameters for organizational content packs. Wow, how old is that? Okay, organizational content packs aren't a thing anymore. So I'm not sure adding deployment parameters would help. But you know what? That is an old idea that doesn't even apply anymore. We'll mark that one red. I'm gonna scroll up here. Input fields that go into Azure Machine Learning as web service input and gives a predicted result in Power BI. That is very oddly specific. Allow programmatically embedding visuals from R and Python. Programmatically embedding visuals from R and Python. You have R and Python visuals. Rich set of visuals. I would like the ability to programmatically embed them into Power BI. I mean, like what you can do right now? Yeah, I think that needs to be moved to completed, like when Power BI released their R and Python visuals, right? But now, let's what would this be if hang on, we'll give that a 4 and we'll give it a 3 for moderately complex. Data flows, analyze in Excel. Data flows, analyze in Excel. What does that mean? Able to connect the data flows from Excel just like you can with data sets would be useful. Seems like that might be a thing, but we won't worry about that. Would it be useful? It would be useful to a lot of Excel users, and it'd probably be about standard complexity. When updating the goals to new connection from existing connection, previous values become empty. Sounds like more like a bug than an idea. So it's going to benefit people with goals. We're just going to do that. All right. Thinking. Make goals transferable and preserve hit. Okay, those need to be merged. Preserve history when data connection changes. Okay, maybe this is different because it's transferable. Those seem oddly similar. We'll probably merge them. Goals, scorecards, add more data connections. Add more data connections. What does that mean? Very promising new figure how I would like to see the possibility to add more data connections. Owner, date, for example, owner, date, and status. Be great if goal hierarchy can be taken from the data source. I'm not sure I really understand that one, so it gets to 3s. Create a set of goals based on values and dimensions. It's all goals. Many times you have a set of values dimension next to a sales per country, per department, per team. How cool would it be if we can create a goal set of some sort that allows us to pick the goal name by hierarchical dimension and report? That'd be cool, but I'm not sure everybody use it. Area goals and notifications. This may be a thing as well, or it was planned and it was implemented. And again, it's the 3s. Goals calculated from sub goals. Again, that might be a thing. May have already been implemented and just not updated, but it's the 3s. Okay. Oh, finally, we're off of goals. Dremio Power BI service support SSO through direct query. Okay, that is another oddly specific request. Combine all slicer types and orientations to a format visual tab rather than the caret button. I will say that I'm not the biggest fan of the hiding that stuff under that little caret. But you're really not adding any functionality that doesn't already exist. Support for custom connectors in data flow. Okay, so this makes more sense. So again, this seems like this should be combined with that other one. There was one somewhere else where it was like custom connectors in the service. I'm not sure what we rated that one, but we'll just give this 3s. Default slicer values via query parameter. Default slicer via query parameter. I'm not sure a lot of people would use that. It gets the 3s. Power BI goals notifications. Whoa. We had that one already. That one has 7 votes. Does it show up? This one has 12. Okay, somebody needs to merge those two. Those are definitely the same thing. And it gets the 3s. So let's see. Goals notifications. Let's color code that bad boy. And then come back down here and we'll color code this one. How are those two not merged? They're literally exactly the same title. All right. All right, whipping right on through here, man. We're down, getting down here to in the 70s and 80s here. Enterprise Gateway Automatic Failover. It's called cluster, right? You can have clusters. That seems like a thing. Seems like that literally exists. Okay, but what if it didn't exist? I would say that would be a very important thing for enterprise adoption, um, and fairly reasonable to implement because Microsoft knows a lot about clustering. Failover is not available with the current enterprise gateway. Wait, yeah, it's literally the same. Okay, well, now what? It exists and it's the same as the one above it. I guess we'll give it a I don't know what to give this color. Maybe we'll just do something like this. I don't know. That's a weird one because that's literally again, it exists and they're both the same idea and they're still planned. Support for importing from Power Pivots shared on Office 365 or SharePoint. Power Pivots shared on Office 365 and SharePoint. You know, whatever. It gets to threes. Ability to rename items in the selection pane. I know you can do that. That is a that is a real thing because I just did it in like one of my last videos. I literally did it. But if it wasn't there, well, how would I rate that? I would rate that probably something like a 3 and a 4. Hotkeys in Power BI. Power BI has hotkeys. Enable or improve. 2023 release wave 1. All right, so I mean, always need to support accessibility. I feel like this should be fairly simple to implement. All right, make custom data connectors working in Power BI Service 2. Another one? That's another one. That's another duplicate. I don't know what we gave it last time. We give it the threes. I'll go back through and try to consolidate any of these, and I'll make this Excel spreadsheet available out there to everybody. That if you want to go through it and make your own, your own metrics or your own ratings and stuff, I'll make this available for everyone on the MSHGQM GitHub site. Custom connectors. All right. When is that planned? 2022 release wave 1, which means it should exist already. Whatever. Custom functions to be used across multiple data flows. Maybe that release wave 1 isn't out yet. Anyway, custom functions to be used across multiple data flows. All right, this will impact people that are using custom functions, which is not a ton of people. So it would be a really nice feature. I think. I think it would be probably middle of the road to implement. Data flows. Select connection option. Select connection. Require perfect mapping and connection to use a source rather than a drop-down based options. I feel like this might be exist, but nope. Well, 2021 release wave 2, so maybe this is already done. But if it wasn't, we're not going to put it done because I don't know. Select connection. I mean, it's not really benefiting. You can do it today, right? It's just more difficult, or not as nice of a thing. I feel like that's a 2 and a 4. Incremental Power BI dataset refresh using Power BI data flow as a source. Incremental. I feel like that they released that 2021 release layer 2. That's what I thought. I think this is a thing that's already out there. But I mean, incremental refresh, yes. Now, incremental refresh is already implemented. You just have to implement it on a data flow versus that. So that should be a 4 as well. Transfer the code over. Have an update now in the app. Update now in the app. In the app, if you have an option under update now, as you have in the website, very often I would like to have the latest data, and only option that I have now is to go to the website and do it there, and then check in the app. It gets the threes. Hey, we're getting down to our last 20 or so here. Okay, 81 of 90. Scorecards, ability to subscribe. I feel like that might already be a thing. Maybe it's not. But if it gets the threes. Well, this should be a 4. This should be a 4, right? Or even a 5, maybe. It's going to benefit people using scorecards. Should be easy to do because we already have, the ability to do subscriptions and that. ODBC connections for paginated reports. 2021, at least my, but okay, 2000. Okay, ODBC is pretty common. It should be fairly easy to do. Add ability for Excel workbooks to have live connection to SSAS. Didn't know that you couldn't do that. Seems like that's already been done. But let's say it wasn't. Well, it only benefits Excel users, a pretty large group. SSAS, not everybody does SSAS. It should be pretty easy. Interactive dashboard tiles. Interactive dashboard tiles. Yeah, I mean, there's some interactive features. That's not really the point of a dashboard tile. Why use a report? Or you pin a live page for a report. So, gets the threes. Goals, connected, more goals. Connected goals access to apps instead of workspaces. To apps instead of workspaces. Oh, I think maybe that's what that one was meaning before, which was the app one. All right, well, I'm not going to change my scoring of it. Connected goals and access to apps. Says it's planned instead of workspaces. It's going to benefit people that use goals. It's going to benefit people that use apps. Um, I don't think that's a huge amount of people. We're going to give it a 3 and should be a 4. I'm going to say that should be fairly easy to do. Skip validating queries when saving a data flow. I don't think that would benefit a ton of people. Should be easy to implement. I don't know if you really want to skip the checks, it's okay. Power BI Outlook integration. What does that look like? There are plans to integrate Power BI dashboard with Outlook emails, like adding a set of HTML tags plugin that can refer to HTML. Um, hmm. Hmm. I don't think a ton of people are going to use that, and I think it'd be about fair to midland to implement. Standard usage metric reports versus. I thought we had these sort of. Hey, that's what's. Yeah, they've added, but let's say it didn't exist. Well, it's going to only benefit workspace owners and admins, so it's not a huge population of people, and it seems like it's a 3 to implement. Copy paste the data behind the visual in Power BI to other applications. Okay, so we had this. I remember this one showing up. Okay, so that would be a useful feature, and it should be fairly easy to implement. Source control. Yeah, that would add some significant functionality. It's not that like you can't do it today. Seemed like those would be a 4 to 4. Yeah, we're getting down to the last like 14 of these, man. If the idea site would not crap out on me. All right, here we go. DAX calculations at visual level of reports. Okay, so that's the that would be a 5. But I think it's really difficult to do. It's probably why it's taken so long to do it. So I think that's, you're adding a whole bunch of stuff to that one, which makes it difficult, a longer cycle to do. But definitely, I would give that one a 5 as far as like, wow, it's a wow new thing and would add a lot of functionality. Gateway update notification and auto update for enterprise gateway. Okay, it's going to benefit your gateway people, which aren't a ton, but it does make a lot of sense to do. So I would give this 4 and a 4. Custom order for legend. Okay, I explained in the last video, you can do that. You have to duplicate your field or your column in Power Query, base your sort by column off of that copied column, and then go to your original column and set the sort by to the other one. That way you avoid the circular dependency. So that's a doable thing. It make it a little easier, but I mean, that might be not that easy a thing to do. Power BI Designer API. I forget what this one was about. Okay. Many ISV, so this can benefit ISVs and this and that. Okay. I mean, that's not going to benefit a huge amount of people, but it's a cool idea. I think it'd be hard to implement, or we'll give it a 3 from fair to Midland. Oh, this is that multiple y-axis on chart. I think I personally feel that'd be confusing, but we'll just give it the 3s and move on. All right, getting down to the wire here. Analyze in Excel date columns, convert text date. Connecting Power BI datasets using Analyze in Excel. All date fields from models show up in pivot tables as text, which disables filtering as possible within 2002. I mean that should be that's got to be an annoying feature. That's the way that works. Wait, how did I get off in these? What happened here? So, dash collection visualization, that definitely should be a 5. And then gate update, that makes sense. Did I miss did I miss when I was going through and copying these? Is that what happened? Analyze gateway notification. And then, it looks like I missed some here. How did I do that? Well, let's fix it. So our last one that was Cordex visual level report. Yep. Gateway update notifications. And then it jumps to analyze and Excel date columns. Okay. Well, maybe. So let's see here. Gateway update, that's there. Custom order for legend. I did not mean to leave out your custom order for legend 4211. Custom order for legend. Again, you can do it today, make things a little easier. Oh, there's my custom order for legend. So these just got out of order for some reason when I did the search. Okay, that explains it. Well, we're still gonna have to fix it. So let's see here. Custom order for legend. Again, you can already do it. Power BI Designer. See, okay, here it is down here. I need to copy it up to here. And 1957. Power BI Designer API. And it's a lot for ISVs to do that. So we'll give that maybe a definitely new functionality. I think it'd be fair to Midland to implement. Multiple y-axis. I really find that confusing. Should be not crazy to implement. All right. Analyze and Excel date columns. So now we're back to this convert date. And again, I think that would be annoying behavior. So we delete. So we'll give that a 4 and a 4. And we'll get rid of this. And what did we get rid of here? This multiple x-axis, Power BI, Designer API. Delete those. Custom order for legend. We'll delete those. Apparently, sometimes you get different search results back in different orders. Okay. I have to make sure that I am paying attention. Search my filter values in a dashboard. Okay, that's this one. Yep. Search for filter items in a dashboard. Search my filter items in a dashboard. I had to repeat that. Okay. I have 40,000 values in some of my core filters. Because the web UI only supports browsing through the filter values, I have to pre-filter each dashboard. Hmm. I'm not sure. Are they using the word dashboard correctly? That's the one question. You know what? We'll give it the threes. Subscribe to email snapshots or reports in specific filter states. All right. Insert cut cells. I don't think a ton of people use it. It should be easy to implement. Gotta build an interface for it. Create support creating calculation groups. Okay, apparently this changed with this one. Then shouldn't have researched, I guess, before I did this support creating. You can do it today. It would make things easier. You have to build an interface for it. Give it that. It would make the owners of tabular editors sad, though. No alignment options available in card visual. That is a super nice to have. We're gonna give that a 2, and it should be easy to do. Okay, so we should have 4 left. 104. It's odd that it put a lot of the top vote getters kind of down here at the bottom. Conditional formatting for text. Conditional formatting for, okay, but we won't change the order of this. Conditional formatting for text. Give it a 3 and a 4. Add folders, organize reports in Power BI.com. That would be a nice feature. Could be easy to implement. Measure management in DAX editor. So I think some people would use it, other people wouldn't. I think that's a middle of the road thing to implement. And default selected slicer by tile or value configuration. Default selected slicer by tile or by value configuration. Again, isn't this just one where like you can already do this? The sticky filters capability. Yeah, it seems like that's a thing. But you know, that is a really cool thing. Debating between 5 and 4 here in terms of the whole sticky filters thing was, I think that was huge on a number. It impacts pretty much everybody, and it really, impacts literally almost all the Power BI user base, right? That uses the service. It's really convenient. It's a great ease of use feature. Maybe caused a little bit of confusion where you have to do a reset the default because you didn't realize you set some filter or something like that. But yeah, I think that's a big one. In terms of ease to implement, the sticky filters option and things like that. I don't know how easy that was to implement. We'll give it a 3. Um, it's probably a fair to midland, in terms of ease to implement. Okay, so there we go. There's our 104. We've gone through and rated them. Found some duplicates. Found some bunch of stuff that's already there that I feel like should be shown as completed. But yeah, there we have it. So let's do this. Let's sort by largest to smallest. Okay, so Q&A in Espanol gets a 20 along with matrix grand totals with tables. Then we have this group of 16 here. We have a lot of 16s. Connect data and data mart, that kind of stuff. So yeah, but I wonder what it's interesting to me. Like a lot of my 16s here, like I don't see a lot of like high vote totals in the 16s. Right? What's our highest vote total here? We got there's a couple 1700, 1700, 1800. So, and then there's a 7,000. They add folders option to the service, right? So really, a lot of the top vote getters are not in here. A lot of these vote getters are really pretty low. And if you look overall, the vote totals are really kind of small for these planned features. Um, let's see here. What else can we take a look at here? So again, we got a bunch of 15. Now we just have a couple 15s. Couple 15s, one large vote. This I find about 5,000 here. Then we got a grouping of 12, and that includes a fair number of high vote totals. Then we got the 10. Got one high vote total with some nines with some high vote totals. A lot of nines. Those are our 3 and 3s, right? A lot of them with very high vote totals in here. And then our 6s, and we got some 4s and some 3s. So even in the 6th state, we have a lot of low vote totals or high vote totals in here. So I mean, so interesting to me that again, some of my favorite ideas or things that I think would be valuable, not heavily popular in terms of number of votes. Um, and then the other thing I think, let's just do a sort by largest to smallest. So the one that I've been promoting here is this one sitting down here. Um, so I mean, so what? How many do we have here? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18. 18 planned features with more votes than this one, which means out of the 104, subtract 18, all the rest of them or planned features have less votes. And I mean, we're talking vote totals in the 1 and 2 range. And here's some 3s and 4s, 5, 6s. I mean, really, I mean, wow. I mean, the highest one is like 423, 355. So I mean, I'm sure Microsoft has their own way of like scoring and ranking these things and deciding what to work on. And whatever that is a complete and utter mystery to me. I have no idea how they did come across it because I know what I'd be working on if I was Microsoft, I suppose. But anyway, I hope you guys enjoyed this. I wanted to again, I enjoyed like the last time that I did this. I wanted to kind of mix it up a little this time and just do it, kind of real time with you all. And that's it for this video, and I'll see everybody in the next one.